Hello, hello, hello. Anya Keister here, and it is time again for one of my lazy cosplays. This one is inspired by the Halloween season. If you watched my video about my favorite Halloween movies to watch every year, this is one of them. I'm going to be doing a Winifred Sanderson from Hocus Pocus. So I will put her picture here, so we can remind those of you who may not be as Hocus Pocus enamored as I am. So this one is actually going to be getting a lot of inspiration from Alexa Poletti's video, who is somebody who inspired me to kind of start doing these things. I will link her video down below, but you can see her look right here. Mwah. Chef kiss. So I'm going to kind of follow a lot of her instructions, but add a few little touches from makeup that I have in my own collection here and using different products. But it's going to be the same kind of thing. Winifred Sanderson has no eyebrows, some brown eyeshadow, those very distinct lips, and those bright pink cheeks. I got a wig at the local thrift store for $1. So let's throw this together. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so for ease, I'm just going to record a little voiceover to explain a little bit about what I'm doing in case you wanted to try doing this at home. So the first thing you're seeing is me just putting my hair back. I like to clip, especially the bang area, just to kind of keep all of those areas back. So right here we have a glue stick. Now the glue stick brow trick is synonymous with the drag community where you have to erase those brows. I already had semi-light brows, so this was my first time actually trying the glue stick technique. So I just applied it pretty liberally to my face. Unfortunately, I didn't have an actual brow brush. This is me using a mascara separator, which, as I was doing this right here, is actually starting to ball up. So I decided to not use that mascara brush as much. Basically, had I had it, I would have flattened them up, just basically brushed the hairs straight up against my forehead to thin them out, but I did the best that I could with the tools that I had, hence lazy cosplay. So right here I am using Cover FX Cream Concealer and a beauty blender to just kind of erase my brows as much as possible. I'm dabbing as opposed to spreading because the spreading is just going to thin it out, so I'm trying to dab this on to the face. I'm carrying a little bit of it down under my eyes to get rid of some of those dark circles and do a little bit of a contour. I really kind of struggled with being able to get these brows done. You're gonna see I repeat this process over and over again. It was mildly successful. I think had I had the actual brow brush and used a little bit more glue and had a thicker foundation, I would have been more successful. Here you can see me doing it again. Kind of just going in there. This time I'm using a little bit of foundation as well. I put the foundation on my hand, so I'm spreading it out. I'm gonna soon realize that I prefer a brush, but you know, I'm still going in there, still doing it. I'll throw a picture up later so you can kind of see the comparison, but yeah, here is me just using the brush over my face, trying to even it out, match that concealer that I had used before, and go over. I didn't use any primer for this one, and I probably should have, but I was already starting to see the stuff. I was already starting to see the glue kind of come up. So here I am using a Cover FX powder. I'm powdering under the eyes, I'm powdering all over the face, but I'm mainly really trying to blot that powder over the brows to set that cream concealer and the glue that I had put in. I probably should have given the glue more time to dry as well, and that was my mistake. I was a bit of a rush. It was late at night when I was recording this. Here I am, now I'm going over the powder with some more cream, basically just layering. This is a technique you would use also if you're covering tattoos. You just layer, and you just go over and over and over again and layer and layer and layer. Now you can see the brows are starting to disappear. My left brow is still a little bit thicker than the other one. That one's good. That one's looking good. This one, not so much. Throwing on a little bit more cream. Throwing on a little bit more powder. I just repeat this process over and over again to try to erase them. All credit to the drag performers and special effects artists who erase these things all the time. So as a comparison, just so you can see the progress, there's me with my brows filled in. So you can see they're getting there. They're pretty erased. Now I'm moving on to doing the eyeshadow. So for Winifred Sanderson, there's not a lot of eyeshadow that's going on. Basically, I'm putting some darker shade in the concave part there. Just darkening that little hood. So I'm going with a darker, like a medium brown at this point. Kind of a golden brown. And then I'm going on the lids with a gold shimmer. This is basically just to make it look like that little cut crease. It's not completely cut because I'm using powder, but that cut crease is really well defined. That it's really kind of chiseling in the socket there. Because you're losing the brow bone by erasing the brows with the glue stick technique. This is just, you can see now I'm actually blending the shadow up into where my brows are. This is also kind of the drag technique. You basically make your brow the crease of your eye. And I'm once again going in with a little bit more of that gold shadow to just lighten it up and just intermixing here. I'm working in a little bit too of like a magenta. Get in there. Here I'm just using a liquid liner pen, a felt tip pen, to define my lid. To define the lashes, I should say. This is where my tutorial from Alexa Poletti differs a little bit. I went with a little bit more of a thicker one. I wanted a little bit more definition on my lashes, just because it makes the fact that there's no eyebrows that much more dramatic. Now I'm just going in with a black powder to help set that liquid liner, and also I use this as a technique to get between the lashes so I don't have to tight line. Tight line is when you take the makeup pencil and you go in and you color under the lashes or between the lashes to really give a definite look. Right here I'm taking a white eyeliner pencil and I'm lining my lower waterline. This just helps to open up the eyes. This is another drag or special effects technique. It's used a lot to widen the eyes. A technique you can use to make this more effective is actually take a Q-tip and run it along the waterline first. It's going to dry it up so that it's easier to apply the pencil and it'll be a thicker, more opaque color. I just put a little bit of powder under there because it was to brush away some of the eyeshadow and even yet. Here I'm taking the liner and I'm going underneath the waterline along where my lashes are, just a little bit, and here I'm taking kind of like a smudge brush and I'm smudging it out with a little bit of powder. This is just to create a little bit of a point at the end. Since I wasn't doing a winged liner, which I'm very used to, this just kind of helped to define the eye shape and also to emphasize that whiteness of the waterline that we did. This is mascara. Pretty self-explanatory, really. I don't think I need to go into what mascara is. Any mascara will do for this. I'm gonna put on some false lashes. Winifred's lashes are pretty sparse looking, so really anything you add here is probably close to how it looked in the movie. Here I'm going in with the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil contour powder, just going underneath those cheekbones, going a little bit underneath the jawline, and then I'm gonna carry it up along the brow line for a more dramatic look, since this is a little bit more costumey and cosplay. Very chisel in there. And here is the pink. So Winifred is known for those pink cheeks. I'm doing it by first blotting it in the middle there, right on the apples, and then bringing it back. I'm gonna go over it here. I'm going over it with powder to lighten it. Later I'm gonna realize that I need that pink when the full look is going, and I add it back a little bit more. And with that I was trying to go with a pretty warm bluish tone, something that matched my skin tone but would still show up a lot. This is just putting some glue on some lashes. So I put the glue on there and I'm letting it sit. Here I'm taking that same Cover FX cream concealer and I am basically erasing my lips so I can do that Cupid's bow. It's actually very effective for that because it's very creamy, so it doesn't dry out the lips and it tends to go on really well. Here I'm taking an Urban Decay red lip liner and I'm just lining out that Cupid's bow. You want to overemphasize this. I didn't overemphasize as much as I could But you can really draw outside of those lines, especially if you don't have a lower lip that's super protruding. You can go way outside of that drag technique, but especially doing the upper cupid's bow. So by this point, my lashes are pretty tacky, so I can just set them on there. I used ones that were slightly wispy, but carried a lot in the middle, because that's where her lashes are. She doesn't have kind of like a feathering at the end. They are just lashes. So just place those on there. And now that they are set and letting those lashes dry, I'm gonna go in. This is a Kat Von D liquid lipstick, I wanna say, but you can use any red liquid lipstick. Kind of the warmer tone, the better. I wish I had gone a little bit warmer with it, a little bit more orange tone than blue toned, but this is just a nice liquid lipstick that I have, so. I'm just filling it in there, going along where I had lined those lips. That's it. So here is kind of the look for now. I check it out and I go, oh no, I need more blush. So I'm going in here, this time with a pinker blush to just really define those cheeks. And I went in here with a little bit more gold on the lids to kind of make it more defined. And then here I have the Urban Decay, I think it's just called like liquid, I don't know, Rockstar glitter liner. And I'm just putting the gold right along it too, just to really differentiate from the lashes and to give it a little pop of color. Winifred Sanderson has a lot of gold in her outfit, so I thought it was a nice match to use this gold liquid liner. I've had those for forever. So here we go, here's the look. You can see a little bit of shine on the lids. I think it's good. So here I am. I had this corset that I've had for a while. And I thought, oh, you know, this looks for it. Lazy cosplay. What do I have in my closet? So I put it on because I liked the warm, rich golds. It felt like some of the stuff from Winifred's costume. Here I am just braiding my hair. I used to be able to put my hair in little pin curls under a wig, which was nice, but now the hair is just way too long. So here I've braided it, and I am putting it on, and then the wig cap. That down and tuck in those little wispies there. And now for this $1 thrift store wig. It was so excellent for this. This is like the exact right color. It was already huge and fluffy. So I'm basically kind of separating it into two and then just wrapping them up. Winifred's isn't too specific side combs or anything like that, but this is a good way to get that volume because I can just push it towards the middle. Here I'm just fixing the back to make sure it's going all the way down. I have some pretty dramatic sideburns down the side that are often hard to cover with a wig. So I'm taking some and I'm pinning it directly to that sideburn kind of area to try to cover up as best as possible. And then I'm just getting those little stragglers in the back. I'm actually also using clips because this is one where I'm not out and about wearing it, so I use some big hair clips, and now I'm just going in with bobby pins for the finer look. I later realized that I needed the widow's peak for this look. I don't add it here, but I just used a really orangey red lipstick and I went in and I drew in a widow's peak, which you'll see at the end. These are just some golden earrings. These are actually my golden snitch earrings. Winifred has a golden, they're kind of like a pyramid, little earrings that she's hanging. Someone didn't have anything like that. This is what I had around, lazy cosplay. So we're gonna throw on these gold earrings. There we go. Checking it out, vanity, very good. And this was a green skirt that I had, so I am just gonna throw it down on the shoulder since I didn't have a green. Ooh, serving it. Look at me. Woo woo. And yep, and then I'm like, oh no, I think I should put some more brown up there. Whether or not I needed it, I don't know. I think the lack of brows was kind of freaking me out. So here's the finished look. I'm pretty impressed with the wig. For a $1 thrift store wig, I think this does a pretty good job. I think it's a pretty good match. When I spotted it in the costume bin, I was like, that is going to be great for Hocus Pocus. But yeah, so this is the finished look. I would say I'm pretty happy with it. This is going to be my lazy cosplay of Winifred Sanderson from the movie Hocus Pocus. And thanks for watching. I'll see you around then, everybody. Okay, bye.